Hey guys, we're back for another episode of the Bros Dream podcast. Today we're going to talk about a series of other news happening in Harmony, happening for the Harmony protocol.
Yeah.
And
Yes. Oh,
yeah,
keep going.
we're here again. We're here again. First on our list, we're going to talk about Frax Finance. So I'm really, ooh, are you there, Kev?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. So I'm really excited about Frax Finance and what they have to bring to Harmony. Frax Finance is basically focused on stable coins and combining stablecoin ideas into something that is potentially even more effective. So, when you think of a stablecoin, there are basically two different types. There is algorithmic stablecoins, and then there are kind of one-to-one backed stablecoins. So one-to-one backed stablecoins are where you have like one UST and then you have $1. And for every UST, there's a dollar that represents it. And um, the person holding, uh, the person who's controlling the UST has that pegged. So it's
Yeah.
it's always one UST to $1. Um, algorithmic algorithmic stable coins are more of um, making sure that if someone sells, like, so for example, if someone sells UST and the value goes down, then the algorithm buys back UST so that the algorithm is back, or so that the value of the stablecoin is back at $1. So it's basically
Okay.
controlling the border. So making sure that it doesn't go too low or it doesn't go too high, that it stays pegged to that $1. And it buys and sells the asset, the stable coin, to contain it within that border. Does that make sense, Kev?
Yeah, it does. So it's pretty much stabilizing the stable coin, which funny enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, just make sure that it's not gaining over the set amount and it's not losing the set amount. So it's always going to be at that $1 mark. And if it ever does go below or above, it automatically sells or repurchases the amount that's needed to maintain that stability. So that makes a lot of sense. And I
Yeah.
believe that is actually very important to have something like that set up.
And as you can see here, what Frax does is it combines both collateralization, so that one-to-one US or one-to-one representation, and the algorithmic. So Frax does both so that, for example, you won't have to have as much as much money collateralized. You can have less money
Mhm.
collateralized and more money, or less money collateralized and have the algorithm working for you. So it kind of tries to get the best of both worlds. Uh, and I think that's really cool. It tries to optimize for the best solution. And so a partnership with Frax, I think, is very good for Harmony. This type of this type of technology is at the forefront of kind of
Yeah.
stable coins and what's being done. So, you know, all the power to them for doing this. If you look at their white paper here, their stable coin is actually called Frax. So that's what their stable coin is called. And then they have a
Mhm.
governance token, which is FXS. So,
Okay.
and
Shit.
they have a They collateralize
With
I think with
USDC.
USDC. Yeah, with USDC they collateralize. Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much Frax. Do you have anything you want to add to it, Kev?
No, that's pretty much it. That sounds very interesting. I like that, and that's also interesting that they're using USDC. USDC. Yeah, said right. Oh, but yeah, that's very interesting that they're using that. A lot of people are leaning towards that than Tether, so that's actually pretty cool that they're doing that now.
Yeah. From what I could see with USDC, it seems to have a lot of backing. It seems to have a
Yeah,
lot of um, different partners and seems to be very regulated and
trustworthy.
trusted.
Yeah, so that's kind of what a lot of people are leaning it into. And it's awesome because Coinbase has been using them for a long time as well. So it's like even major exchanges are using it now. So it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's Frax. Um, so basically, this was posted sometime in mid-July, basically announcing Harmony's partnership with Timeless. We talked a little bit about Timeless last time. It was focused around Lollapalooza and
Mhm.
Harmony's partnership with Timeless that brought forward, some free tickets and some other things. But this kind of gives a bigger clarity. We want to kind of give a bigger understanding to what that partnership is. So
Mhm.
the partnership is basically focused on capturing special moments, special events, and having NFTs really be a bridge towards that event, really be a representation in this digital space of that event. Um, and Stephen himself even commented about it as timeless as a curator DAO for your moment NFTs, and having basically um, combining memorable real world events with the metaverse. And, this is just the beginning. There's going to be a lot more to come.
Yeah, that's extremely interesting. Kind of makes me think like if you're vlogging or something, you can probably contribute to it. So um, if you're already doing it, you just adding to it, and then it becomes a timeless NFT or however they want to go about it. But pretty cool. So they're just taking real events and make it into an NFT and just adding something special to it and
Exactly.
memorable.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, so that's kind of all we wanted to talk about with Timeless NFT, giving some clarity. I think there's some uh, Timeless NFT events going on right now. I think the last thing that's going on is a giveaway to win tickets to the Bucks versus Cowboys event. I think alongside of NFTs, they're just doing giveaways with tickets and other things. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it with them. So
Yeah,
now,
that's cool.
yeah. So now we're gonna go ahead and talk about um, this WordPress plugin,
Oh yeah, that's gonna be so cool.
Harmony Pay. So this WordPress plugin is focused on basically allowing vendors and customers to interact with each other and transact using Harmony and automating that process, fully automating that process, having it integrated into the vendors um, whole experience. So you can imagine having a website where you're going and shopping and trying to buy something, and you go ahead and have your things in your cart and you're ready to go pay, and you can pay with Harmony. You can pay with Harmony. And all a vendor has to do is integrate this WordPress plugin into their site for you to actually go ahead and pay with Harmony. I think it's a pretty cool process, um, pretty uh, feasible, pretty doable. This is currently one of the um, one of the bounties to be fulfilled on Gitcoin. So, for all of my devs, um, go ahead, start the work and get it done. I think there are already some people working on it, a couple
Yeah.
agents, putting in the work, working on it. But yeah, if there anyone else that wants to give it a crack, give it a try, go ahead. But I'm really excited about this because I think, it
Dude,
can be a
5 days left.
yeah, you have 5 days left. Not a lot of time. So I guess maybe devs don't have that much time if they want to.
No, I'm just like, I was looking at it, like, whoa, 5 days left. I was like, well, you better get coded.
Yeah. For all my expert devs.
But that's so cool, man. Like, that's awesome. I think if this do show some good promise, we might be able to see this in a couple of months or maybe even next year. But that'd be so cool to use.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, it's just it will give more scalability to to Harmony. It'll give more reach to Harmony.
Almost done.
What'd you say?
I thought you got quiet for a second, and then I realized that I was lagging.
Oh.
I was like, he stopped talking, but no, it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
Um,
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go ahead and finish, and I'll add my comment at the end.
Yeah.
You
So
can.
basically, I think it will give a lot more reach to Harmony, a lot more eyes and fingers using the protocol, using the tool, using and interacting and experiencing Harmony.
Yeah, and what's interesting is I think on the let's see, on like the third or fourth paragraph on the description, you can even see where they say that it's going to be using an auto settlement feature that's similar to which Binance API exchange uses. They're hoping to use crypto.com with stable coins. So that's like awesome if they're able to do that, because it would make the transaction just kind of seamless, like quick, and especially with how fast Harmony is, it'll be kind of instantaneously, and that's kind of what we need for mass adoption, and to be able to use merchants to be able to accept that form of payment like PayPal, to just open up so many doors to so many businesses and projects. So it's kind of like we're almost pioneering technology like that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
thanks for pointing that out. That's really big.
Yeah, that's huge.
Using stable coins or something else to be able to transact through a Harmony plugin and using the Harmony blockchain. That's awesome. So that's pretty much it for uh, the WordPress plugin. We're really excited about it. And after that, we wanted to talk a little bit about the Stephen C. Uh, interview. Chinatown interview. Um, did you get a chance to go through it or look
Uh,
at it?
I think I saw a different interview
Yeah,
because he came out with one similar. That's an interview I saw.
yeah. The
Yeah. Uh-huh. Which that one was really cool. I really loved that one.
yeah.
He
So
touched a lot of cool things.
I agree. So we can talk about. We're going to talk about both of them because I really enjoyed both of them. Um, but which one do you want to talk about first?
We can go with this one. We're already on there, so
Cool.
yeah.
So this first one was really interesting to me for several different reasons. So he started in this interview. They started off talking about Stefan's childhood, how he grew up, um, and his kind of path to today. It was really interesting. I was really interested to actually find out that Stefan grew up on a farm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he grew up on a farm. And he grew up uh, really, not being, I feel like in American society today, at least for me, oftentimes, and this is, I feel like true in a lot of different societies, you're put on this track. You're put on this track
Yeah.
and follow your track. Go through that track.
Mm.
Do your best, you know, go to school, work hard, go to college, get a degree, get a
Yeah.
job, and
Good luck.
good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
And Stefan, in this interview, talked about how his experience was very, open. He was really free to kind of just um, not be labored by all of the expectations and pressures that society puts on you, and the people around you often put on you to do things and be a certain way,
Mhm.
which I think allows you to explore more the things that exist, and really have a better opportunity um, to find something you really enjoy and want to spend your time on and master. You know, um,
Yeah.
there are a whole bunch of other things that they talked about uh, during this podcast as well, including that. Um, One of the things that some of the other things that they talked about was the importance of creating culture, in harmony, as well as the importance of Stefan's attachment to the term one. Uh,
Mhm.
and I feel like oftentimes I feel like in harmony, there are a lot of culture building um, features, or there are a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of culture in harmony. For example, day one, crazy ones, um,
Yeah. Most
communi-
definitely.
the communication that we all have on Twitter, the communication that we all have on Telegram. There's a lot of, I feel like, camaraderie, and in this podcast, Stefan talked about how you know Silicon Valley is often like that, and his experience like at Google, being a Googler, really influenced uh, his decision to kind of push harmony in this direction. You know, creating a story, having things be um, deeper than just number go up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
um, and technology, having it be social, having it be cultural. Um, and I think that is what really pushes you and holds you during bear markets, during tough times. That's what keeps the people around. um I was I was reading Twitter a couple days ago, and saw someone posted what happened to all of X. I won't say the name of the currency because I don't want anyone coming and starting to flame me. What
don't
happened
put
to
no one
X
on blast.
coin? What happened to that X coin? And I feel like that's often, what happened to whatever X coin. And it's because the people weren't really passionate about it. They weren't really trying to stick around and um uh uh
Only for the gains,
invest.
basically.
Yeah, they were just trying to extract whatever resources they could and, go on their way. Which, I mean, if that's your goal, cool. But I think real value is deeper than that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're trying to say. Like harmony is much more than just hey, invest a small amount or invest however you want and then cash out at the end of the day. It's more than just that. It's kind of like in another word, kind of like a family. So we're all like trying to help build this community together. And long-term investing is what's helping us with staking. So a lot of us have put a portion of our portfolios in there, whether it's all of it or a small amount, it doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that we feel like we're contributing even 101 tokens, but still contributing to the network. And that's what we try to teach and try to tell people, that it doesn't matter. You don't have to be well. Any little bit is still contributing to the decentralization of harmony and what we're trying to build for the future. Because right now, obviously, it's not valued, like it's an undervalued token, but in the next 3 to 4 years, it's consistently improving. Every single month, there's always something brand new or always something that's been accomplished. We broke over 50 million transactions with Sushi, on which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. But like, we're always just, it's always doing something, and it's always trying to have the community just work at it together. And we're in no way trying to make people feel left out. It's more in an involvement. So it's actually pretty interesting, and I love it. It's just all about uplifting others and just helping them accomplish their goals along the way.
100%. I like that. So another thing that he talked about, or they talked about in this podcast that I want to highlight as well, there were a lot of really great points. I really do recommend you watch this podcast if you want to know more about Stefan. I really recommend it. Was not peaking too early, and this is kind of along the same lines as kind of what I was saying before. Don't um, don't I in this video they highlight just not specializing too soon, not narrowing yourself too soon. And they brought up this concept, me being in the computer science field. They brought up this concept that is kind of in that portrayed the message that they were trying to deliver. And it was, let's see, let me.
Something like complacency, like when you're kind of like, hey, I'm here, so I'm just gonna chill.
Is it what?
Is it like, hey, I'm here, I'm just trying to chill, like complacency?
It
Is that the
was
one?
greedy algorithms. Let's see. Here it is. Here's the image. Oh, let's just go here, and then I think I can go like that. Yeah. So if you see on the right, let's say I'm gonna get a little bit mathy here because I'm trying to explain the point. So I promise it will make sense. It will make sense. So if you look at
I'm following.
this graph right here, and we want to find the path that gets us to the bottom, or that has the largest value. There are a lot of different ways you can do that. The path to the bottom, where if you add up the numbers, they give you the largest value. There are a lot of different ways you can do that. A lot of different processes, or another word for that, algorithms that you could follow to get to the bottom. Some are better than others. You know what I mean? Some are faster than others. Some are slower than others. Some are more effective than others. Some are less effective than others. So one algorithm that's fast, and that, it's fast, but it won't get you optimal results, is a greedy algorithm. So for example, if we start up at the top, one algorithm that we could do is going down one step, right? And see what value on the next level is greater. So just doing a maximum of your two leaves, right? Of the two leaves, just doing a maximum of whatever is there and going down that path. All right, so we do that and we go from 0 to 10. All right, and then we do that again and we go from 10 to 8. and we add up that value and we get 18. But we could clearly see that that's not going to get you to the highest value. That's not going to get you to that juicy 100. You're not going to get there through that algorithm. But it's quick. You know, you don't have to spend a lot of time going through all the nodes. What, you know, Stefan was highlighting was oftentimes, you know, even though it's more time consuming to go through all the nodes, it will provide you with the optimal, the best solution. Oftentimes, if you spend time and really just explore the world, you will get to oftentimes a better place, a place that you're happier with. But, you know, and that's the idea that they were trying to convey. You know, I'm gonna get off my
high horse.
But that's all that they were trying to convey. You can take it, you can leave it. You know, everything I say, you can judge it and take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, and that's pretty much a greedy algorithm.
Okay, well, thank you for the illustration. I believe the majority of us still held on.
My pleasure. Hopefully I didn't sound like a crazy person.
It's okay. I think we're all a little crazy being in crypto.
Right.
It's all good though.
So the next video was with Charlie Shrem. And do you want to give your thoughts on it, Kev?
Yeah. I was listening to him when I was doing a lot of errands the other day. And I love the interview. It was so cool because Charlie asked a lot of interesting questions. And Stephen, he likes technical questions. So I don't know if you ever, whenever you see him get asked a technical question, he just lights up because he's like, finally, like, we're going to get down to the grit of things. But what I really liked is that he touched on the DAOs and how Harmony's planning to not award, but pretty much support a DAO that has a clear mission and a clear vision on what they want to do to improve Harmony and pretty much help like the world. So if they're able to kind of convey those three mandates, Harmony's able to back them each with $1 million. So that way they can get started and, you know, and do what they need to do. So he went into details that they want to do 10 DAOs across the world. So if anybody's interested in making changes or has an idea that can benefit crypto while using Harmony, they can reach out to their team and see how they can go about that. And that's what he was talking about. So it was really, really interesting because not many projects at all that I can think of would offer that amount of support for like a project DAO that's just starting up. And it's actually really, really awesome. But that's one of the main things that I took from it. He touched a little bit more, but I'll let you kind of dive a little bit more into it.
Yeah. So let's see. I really liked their discussion on DAOs as well. I thought from my from my understanding, it seemed like Charlie was, you know, very impressed by Harmony's system of having a decentralized organization that can operate autonomously and accomplish a task, get towards a goal. It seemed like he was like, yeah, this makes sense. This is where things should go. This is the direction things are moving to. And then talking a little bit about the point that you made earlier, I could definitely see, you know, Stephen was was definitely lighting up earlier into the interview when they were talking about, reverse engineering systems and
Yeah.
um, really figuring out uh, the innards, how the innards of a system work, just by observing it, just by seeing what it spits out and seeing what it takes in, really understanding it and being able to recreate it. And I thought that was really cool. They really also talked about Harmony as a bridge and adoption and the One Wallet, Google Authenticator wallet, which I thought was all cool. And good.
Yeah.
So, so yeah.
Yeah, it was really for being only like about 30 minutes, it had a lot of information in there, like jam packed. But they covered a lot of topics. One thing that I forgot is when he was talking about the reverse engineering aspect of things. Stefan was saying that he was doing that since he was a kid, but it was more of like just tinkering. So because he said he had no manual, there was no how to get this to work or how to build it. Like he had to do it all by hand and just figure it out. And that's kind of what it became to be. And it didn't really have a name at that time. So um, he did something he just started doing as a kid, and that just shows like where kind of like your interests are. You always try to figure how something works, and he's using that same passion with Harmony now. So it's just awesome seeing how, as a child, he's used that and is now using it with the Harmony Protocol. But it's amazing how far he's come.
Yeah.
And the bridges, that is something that's freaking awesome. Like it's gonna get to a point where Harmony's gonna be bridging to almost every chain.
Yep.
Um, and what's cool about that is that it helps with mass adoption as well. So, for example, let's say if a chain doesn't really have like partnership with other chains, if they partner with Harmony, well, now they're kind of partnered with BTC and Ethereum and all these other chains simultaneously just because they're bridging to Harmony. So like it's just interesting. And I like to use the term all chains lead to one.
Mhm.
I just think it's cool because that's how in Rome all roads lead to Rome. So I think if it's similar, like it's Harmony is gonna be just like that. All chains lead to Harmony. So it's awesome just to think about that.
It's a nice double entendre. Definitely nice double entendre with the one token and leading to one, which is Harmony. So,
Yeah.
any final words on this interview?
No, I pretty much threw everything at
Cool.
it.
Sounds good. Let's keep going. So now we're gonna talk a little bit about let's see. We're gonna talk a little bit about sushi liquidity and what it's currently at and some other metrics, because why not? Um, so you were saying the TVL was actually higher than this, right? Before?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. I know he did it recently.
He did it recently. Okay. Let's see.
Because I saw I'm
Oh,
on my
yes. I see.
timeline.
Right here.
Yeah,
So the liquidity right now for sushi is actually at like 66 million, which is awesome.
yeah, that's
It's amazing.
insane.
Do you want to talk a little bit about why liquidity is so important to like Harmony?
Yeah, well, I'm only gonna mention my opinion. I might be wrong, but it just reason why it's important is because it allows like the protocol to actually execute transactions. So it means like pretty much the people is believing in it, and they're locking their value with it, whether it's with pools or if it has a staking feature, kind of like how Pancake has when you can stake an individual token in it. I believe Sushi does the same thing, but I'm not entirely too sure. But it helps that ecosystem grow, and it allows the liquidity to keep flowing and executing transaction, which in turn rewards the people who are posting their liquidity tokens into those pools. So it helps grow the ecosystem organically. And that's why when you see huge liquidities go like over to the 100 millions to the billions, that's when you see like that's where you see like Pancake go to like $30 at one point, or to like 60. So that's what's important about it, because it just helps grow that token and that ecosystem. So I know there's more to it. I'm just not that technical with it, but I think that's kind of like the gist of it.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was a great explanation. For me, what, liquidity. So basically, we're talking about liquidity, and you're like the explanation you gave was great. Basically, how I see it is, uh, with more liquidity locked up, there is less that can be used to sell and move the markets, in a
Yeah.
way that would be uh, unhelpful. So basically, more liquidity means that more assets are more liquidity in these liquidity pools means that more assets are locked up so that they can't be used to affect the price of Harmony. They can't be pretty much, yeah. So that's pretty much it in terms of Sushi. Great job to everyone providing liquidity and staking there. You're doing amazing. 66 million TVL is impressive. So now we're gonna go ahead and talk about, let's see, now payments. This article that came out, we're gonna just briefly go over it. This article just basically gives a short summary of all the different things that Harmony has right now. But what I wanted to highlight was, sustainability.
Yeah.
Sustainability with Harmony. There was like a whole bunch of FUD, like Elon FUD with Bitcoin and how unsustainable it is, uh, which, some people say that argument has merit. Some people say that argument doesn't have merit. But in terms of Harmony and where Harmony sits, Harmony is incredibly sustainable. There's no mining going on in Harmony. Harmony is completely proof of stake. So that means rewards are earned by locking up your Harmony into a contract. Yeah, with a validator. And so if you're looking for a green crypto, Harmony is the way to go.
Yep. It sure is. Yeah, and we also use with validators, we use cloud computers. So these are already existing centers that are running their computers, and we're just pretty much renting them while we're running the node. So and there's some who are very low cost and efficient who are running Raspberry Pis. Like Murphy Validator, he's doing a Raspberry Pi. So it's like, oh my, doesn't even take next to nothing to run that little computer, but it's able to run the node and sync with the blockchain very, very efficiently and with low cost.
Very low cost. I was thinking about setting one of those up too. It doesn't seem too bad in setting it up. The actual the only thing that kind of stopped me was, my bandwidth, and
Yeah.
my internet's not always the best. So
Yeah.
having like something that's signing the way it should is I don't want to risk that. So yeah.
Definitely feel you on that one. But I think it'll be like a cool and interesting project just to even do. I don't think it'll be my main um server in the
No,
sense like it's not gonna be my main one, but I don't think you would lose signage if you still keep your current one.
no, you don't.
It just yeah, it's just that that one probably won't be syncing as good as it should be.
Exactly.
But yeah, if anything, it won't be too big of a blow. But it's something that I most definitely want to actually do because it looks like a lot of fun.
And the,
Like a cool learning experience.
and the signage isn't even bad. Like where like all the validators are, or if you have a good validator, he's probably a perfectionist and wants to make sure he has like above 99% signage. So like
Yeah.
typically like a 90% or 95 or like a percent signage is like good. It's just we're all like, no, we need to be above this certain amount.
Yeah.
So
100% is God tier. No, it's really hard, especially when you're trying to figure out if I should keep a server or can I still run 100% on it or should I add another one?
yeah,
Then it goes into the cost and everything, but it's still very interesting. But it's cool. That's what makes it really, really fun about being a validator. You have
100%.
to worry about all these little things, but at the end of the day, once you get it right, it's like so satisfying.
So satisfying. And like once you've like if you're noticed signing unoptimally, or like not well, and you find out why, you figure out why, and you can resolve it, and you see that it's okay, it's running great, like that
Yeah,
fulfilling feeling is it's so great.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So all right, that's pretty much it that I want to cover with now payments. And now we're going to talk a little bit about VINCI, which is Davinci's uh, governance token, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like I could definitely imagine um, them doing a lot of different things with VINCI, whether it be you know NFT drops with VINCI or collabs with artists with VINCI or um, a whole bunch of things. I was reading something about how the valuation of uh, other um, NFT marketplaces are like in the billions, and
Yeah,
VINCI's right now I think is in. I don't even think it's not close to that. It's very multiple X's lower. So this could be something that could definitely, take off as well, I think.
yeah, it'll definitely put put them on the at least on the radar. Um, but yeah, no, I'm even thinking about possibly do some giveaways with it, just purchasing some Vinci and just and kind of helping people really like adhere to it. And I think a lot of issues that they were having is having the everyday one holders to actually integrate their wallets with DaVinci. But I think now they're starting to kind of solve that. And now with MetaMask, I think they announced last week that now you can actually connect it with your mobile wallet. That in itself is just awesome because a lot of
Yeah,
people are on the go and they really, really want to just do this on the phone and then not really worry too much about it. Now, then being able to have the ability to do that, it's just amazing. And now you can have a portable marketplace on your phone and you can buy, purchase, or trade NFTs. And you're also contributing to the DaVinci network. So you're going to be earning Vinci as you're doing all those things.
yeah,
So I think it's just a win-win across the board. And it seems like a lot of people are really happy about it.
100%. And to be honest, NFTs have not yet realized their full potential.
Most definitely.
Not even close. And like, I recommend you guys go and this past week I read this or I listened to this interview from Ark Invest, not interview, this podcast from Ark Invest. It was a podcast. The podcast name is For Your Innovation. And it was an interview with Nifty Gateway and the significance of NFTs with Griffin Cock Foster, who is like one of the founders of Nifty Gateway. And he really dives deep into why NFTs are important, what um, what are markets that they will influence in the future. You
Mm.
know, if you think about an NFT, right? It can span into gaming. Imagine you have
Mm.
a game that you're playing and you have this exclusive weapon, exclusive whatever accessory that's in the game and that operates a certain way. And in order to use that weapon or whatever, you have to have the NFT of it in your wallet.
Wow.
You have to have the NFT of it in your wallet. Um, and you know, there's a big usability. There's a big future for NFT that I think in the coming years we're going to realize that we're going to see a lot of these um, gaming companies and different uh, different corporations hopping into NFTs even more so. Like if you imagine like even like Pokemon, for example,
Yeah.
imagine how much how much is the Pikachu NFT worth?
Nah,
How much is
for
that?
real.
Right?
Yeah.
Putting that on the blockchain and having it there, and I own the Pikachu NFT. That's your if you own the Pikachu NFT, you're rich.
Yeah, pretty much. You're like right there. You'll be
Yeah.
kicking some you're gonna be kicking people up and down.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of value to be realized in the NFT space that has not yet been. Having a digital representation of something, an authentic digital representation of it, that is recognized in this system of the blockchain. Um, and you know, things like Davinci enable it. So keep your eyes open, guys.
Yeah, and even right there, we're gonna have some airdrops they're gonna be doing for new users. So just keep an eye on it. It's gonna be really, really fun. Um, Brother One, we're gonna be doing another NFT giveaway this month. So keep an eye out for that announcement. We're gonna do cyberpunk slash samurai type theme. So it's gonna be pretty interesting.
Awesome,
So yeah.
awesome. We're getting a scoop. We're getting some scoops, guys. All right.
Yeah, man. I'm excited.
So now we're
Ooh.
gonna go into talking about HIPs. This is the last topic we have for today, and some of the new HIPs that are available and that are being talked about on talk.harmony.one. Do you want to talk about some of them, Kev?
Sure. Let me see
Any
which
of the
one.
ones you're excited about?
There's a lot that I'm excited about. Like HIP 10 auto delegation. That's something that almost every single delegator that's ever delegated, either what Brother One or any other validator, that is a feature that is highly requested.
Mm-hmm.
So I know right now there still needs a lot of work to it because there's a lot of technical issues or technical hurdles that the team has to pretty much overcome and kind of work out. But pretty much the gist of that is to be able to auto delegate your rewards to whichever validator you're validating with to increase your earning potential. If you've ever used the staking, the delegation and validator portal calculator, staking calculator, basically, it kind of gives you average of what you would make if you were to redelegate your rewards. That would be an automatic feature that you can turn on or turn off to be able to run it. So you won't have to be just sitting by, or if you forgot to claim your tokens, and you don't have to do all that. But that's kind of where they have to work around is um, how they're going to be able to implement that with multiple validators. Is it going to be using the same wallet and just stuff like that? But
Mm-hmm.
those are issues that I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to tackle and just get on the forefront of. Um, Another one is the um, HIP 15, I believe, the validator governance participation indicator. That one's also important. Um, it's been talked a lot with a lot of validators. when it comes to BLSL key usage, meaning that if a validator with a large amount of tokens, if they're able to manage their keys correctly, um, if they're over using the amount of keys to stay at the bottom of the slots that are available currently, which I believe is 800. Sometimes by doing that, they kick out, not physically, but if they kind of build like a wall, which a smaller validator has a hard time overcoming because the validator just took up that space. And if they don't necessarily need to be holding that certain amount of keys, uh, it would actually help the new validators to get elected and start earning rewards to the delegators by them releasing that said key. And they'll still be able to earn that 9 to 10% reward rate daily. So it's in a sense, the team has come out, Harmony team has come out and saying that the keys don't really affect it too much to the point where it's necessary to max out your key usage. So the indicator will kind of help show you which validator is abusing it and which isn't, which validator is actually trying to respect that margin, that line, just to allow a lot more smaller validators the opportunity to be able to be elected and start growing their validator. And in a sense, it kind of just helps promote newer validators to come into the fold. If we want to get to 1,000 validators, it is a step towards it. But it's a lot of innovating that all of us validators are trying to do. We're all trying to come up with different ways to kind of just help with it.
Yeah, definitely. And another way that that is being done is the validator delegation pooling HIP 13 started ideation and started by our fellow validator Harmonious dude. Shout out to Harmonious dude. Um,
Yeah,
and it consists of taking two different validators and potentially pooling their um, their stake together to reach the uh, to enter into a slot where they can then become elected, and sharing that elected status.
yeah,
And you could imagine that being buried in a whole bunch of different ways. But I think it's a really cool idea, and we'll see if it gets through.
yeah. I like the idea, and I did speak with Harmonious dude. I think how it is now, it'll probably be a little bit problematic, but if we're able to kind of research it more, kind of dissect it a little bit, and kind of find out a way if we can implement that to where it won't affect, um, they won't compromise the validator security or the delegators, the delegation security, stuff like that, it would actually work out a little bit better. Um, and he did point out also a support, not really like kind of like a support group to where the validator DAO can help support new coming validators, kind of give them sort of kind of like a guide to help them in spots where they're having issues, whether it's through advertising or node issues, or just trying to get their name out there, just assist newcomers. Will be extremely helpful for new validators, because a lot of times when I joined the space, I didn't know what I was doing. And a lot of the community members helped me, kind of showed me the way. And after that, I was able to kind of like learn and grow. And that's pretty much what we want to do, is just help guide the new validators to do that. But how it's structured, we want to make sure that the validators information is still kept confidential. And I pitched him an idea of, instead of sharing like their keys and stuff like that, or they can do kind of like the smaller validator can delegate to the big validator, and maybe that way it's not compromised, and then we can kind of do stats on that way. But again, that's still a lot of issues and a lot of things that we have to break down to see if it's even possible. But it's a very good idea. I like it. And I think a support group, or I think already like Bolivian is kind of already working on something like that. That's what's really gonna push a lot more as well.
Cool, cool. Awesome. So that's pretty much everything we had for today. We went through a lot of different topics. But I think we, talked about a lot of good stuff today. I think we talked about a lot of good stuff today, from Frax Finance to the different interviews to these HIPs coming on. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today's episode of A Bro's Dream podcast.
I like that, a bro's dream. Yeah. Also, Zucker Arts, he made a logo for
Oh,
our stream. I don't know if you want to show them,
yeah, let me show them.
but he did an awesome job.
Okay, so here is I'm gonna probably just start it from this opened. But here is the our new logo for A Bro's Dream podcast. You can see Kev right here, and I'm right
Yeah,
here.
it's just so cool.
It looks amazing. Don't ignore
Yeah.
the fact that he doesn't have long hair like me. I didn't want that.
It's okay. It's funny because how he did my pose. I was, when I told him the idea first, I was like, kind of posing, like relaxing and just chilling. And then I started thinking, oh, maybe the Thinking David, how he
Oh
does this. I was
yeah,
like, maybe something like that would be interesting. And I told him that before he even added my character in there. So it's funny how he still used that and was able to just portray it there. And I'm like, okay, that is so cool.
he's definitely an amazing artist. Shout out to Zucker Arts. You did a phenomenal job creating this. And if you look at our logo on YouTube, you'll see that it's there now. So
Awesome.
I love this. I really do. I think it captures both of our um, both
Val-
both of our validators.
Validators.
Yeah, both of our validators, and it just looks great.
Yeah, it looks cool. I like the whole background and everything. He did an awesome job. But then he added the pajamas, the Harmony logos on that. That was just so cool.
Yeah, the pajamas look great. We're gonna have to make those.
That
Yeah,
would be awesome.
yeah,
Heck
definitely.
yeah.
If we ever get really big and have some type of panel, we're gonna have to show up in that. in
Oh man, dude, I'm buying those slippers too. But get the,
yeah.
most definitely. But yeah, guys, just like and subscribe. Any comments, positive or negative, I mean, they're all important to us. We want to know what you guys think. Any recommendations or like comments that you guys want to make, we're all open to them. So we are doing this for you guys, just that we can get to know us a little bit better. But we enjoy doing this, and we're going to be doing them bi-weekly, so just keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out, guys. And both of our validators are in the description. If you have some
Awesome.
one tokens, send them or stake them with us if you can.
Yeah, don't send them, just stake them.
Don't send them. Stake them with us. We'd love to be your validators of choice.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions in regards to delegation, staking, or any just questions about validator information, me and Ron, we're open to answer any questions. We're here to help you guys. We're here to serve, and we love doing it. And that's one of the main reasons why we became validators, because we just love the community and we're just here to help you guys.
And thanks again for watching, everyone. That's it.
All right. Brother one out.
All right, let's